Hey guys, um, I just got back from Run for Million, I guess like 10 days ago. Um, we had some Australians come, so I went to Run for Million. Then we had some Australians come for 3 days, Monday through Wednesday, and they came to ride with my dad and whatever. So he got used in that. That was shortly after we got back from Run for Million, and then after that, he got about a week off. So this is my first time riding him since we got back from Run for Million. He just got PEMF therapy done today, so we're not gonna do a whole bunch with him. But I'm gonna walk around and talk about Run for Million, talk about what I did, and then we're also going. I'm going to the fall championships here in Scottsdale at Westworld, so we're going to talk about how I'm going to slowly get him back ready. That's in about 3 weeks, so I'm slowly going to get him ready again to go show. So we're going to talk about how we go from one show to giving him a bit of time off to another show, because obviously he's 14 years old, so he's he doesn't need a lot of maneuvers or anything. So we're just gonna walk around here. I'm gonna talk about Run for Million, and then we're gonna talk about how we go to another show. So with him, obviously he's had a week off now, so we're not gonna do a whole bunch of crazy stuff today. After PEMF therapy, you only like lightly ride them. It's good to get them out and to walk around, do some jogging, some steering and stretching, but you don't want to obviously do crazy maneuvers and make them really use their body because they just got massages and stuff done. So, Run for Million was really good. I was really happy with it. I ended up 19th of 91 in my class. I was in the rookie level 2. I was happy with it. My goal was to be top 10. I've never been to Run for Million before, so obviously I didn't quite reach that goal this year. Hopefully I can go back in the non-pro next year because I'm out of the rookie. I'm out of both levels of the rookie now, so hopefully I can go back in the non-pro next year and qualify for that. Go try for top 10 again. My goal is top 10 right now, which I think is pretty fair. The competition was a lot stiffer than I had imagined it was going to be. I'd never been there before. I'd never really seen like the competition. I knew it was going to be a tough show, but I scored a 208. At the time when I went in, I was draw 72. At the time when I went in, the bubble, so like the space to make top 10, was already a 217, 217 and a half, something like that. I knew that day that I didn't have a 217 in this horse. He can make a 217. I've never been able to, but I know that he can. But obviously he's 14. He's going up against younger horses. He's going up against a lot like newer of material, I guess you could say. And there's a lot of great riders, great people, great trainers, great horses out there. And everybody's trying to do the same thing. So I knew that day I didn't have a 217 in my run, but I was just there to have fun. I made it all this way. I was proud of myself. So I was just going to go out there, have fun. Obviously, I've been working on making sure he doesn't run off. If you've been following my shorts and my the first episode, you know that I've been working a lot on making sure that his rundowns are smooth and clean and that he doesn't get running off too much, because that's something he's really good at. So I went there, I made sure I was slow. I wanted to have fun, but I also knew that it was just another horse show. It's a big show, but you don't think of it any different than any other show. And I went out there and I just cruised around. I had a lot of fun. He stopped really good. The ground, like everybody there was talking about how slippery the ground was. It's usually super thin in Vegas, but this year was like especially bad. I don't know if they changed something about the dirt, but it felt really slippery this time. And and he's a big stopper, so it was a little bit difficult for him to hold himself together. But I felt this year in Vegas was better than last year, so that's good. And then, yeah, so I circled him good. Then my rundowns, he was absolutely amazing. I found out that at Inside Slide here in Scottsdale, if you don't try and plus your circles, so if you don't try and plus half your circles, you don't try and plus one your circles, you don't run as fast, I find that for him personally, he doesn't try and run off in his rundowns as much. So obviously, I had to work a lot on his rundowns. That doesn't just like happen overnight. But something that helps with that is not running as fast on my circles. So I can run him, or I can spin him hard, that sort of thing. But when I do my circles, I just coast him around, I just cruise, and then I turn the corner and I can cluck to him and actually make him build instead of sitting there like a passenger and just having him run off at wide open, which has happened a lot, trust me. I was looking on Rainer Suite the other day. You can like track how many shows you've done and whatever. I have shown this horse, I think 61 times. That's including Vegas, that's including all that stuff. I've shown him 61 times in 2 years. And finally, the last 2 shows, I figured out how to make his rundowns smoother, cleaner, slower. So for anybody that's out there and trying to do it and is discouraged, it doesn't matter how long you've been showing. It takes a long time to figure out a new horse and to figure out a style that works for that horse. As a trainer, it's really difficult to do that sort of thing with each and every horse. I have a lot of respect for my dad. I have a lot of respect for all the trainers out there who can do that because it is not easy. I'm struggling with one horse, let alone 10, 20, whatever. However many training horses you have, each horse is different. And so to figure out, it's taken me 2 years, 61 runs to figure out how to make his rundowns the way I want them to be. He's figured out what I want, and so he trusts me, and he's starting to learn that you can just turn the corner and he doesn't have to run away. If I run him fast on my circles, he still runs off in my rundowns. So the rundowns are getting fixed, but for like a big class for the show pen, that's one way I've figured out on how to make his rundown smooth and pleasant to watch instead of going from 0 to 60. So yeah, scored a 208, was really happy with that. I had a lot of fun, ended up 19th. I placed 19th out of 91 horses. I'm happy with that. I came home and he got ridden by 3 Australians, and so I didn't get to ride him there. I haven't ridden him at all since Run for a Million, and so today I'm just gonna feel him out, and I'm just gonna walk around, just bend his neck. Obviously I just have him in the Boselle here because he doesn't have to do anything crazy today, and he's really soft in his face, so I'm just gonna walk around here. Today will just be bending, flexing, just seeing how his body feels, making his neck stretch, making him move his body over more of his shoulder there. Yeah, there we go. So I'll do some of that. Then over the next, I think I have 3 weeks until the fall championships. It's like September 21 to 26 or something like that. And we actually just decided today that I was going. So I didn't know that I was going until today. But we're going to, over the next like week or so, I'll start seeing like how he feels. Obviously, like after I ride him, I'll TheraPlate him every day and stuff like that. So we have a TheraPlate. It's super helpful, and it helps with circulation and stuff like that. So I'll put him on there, and that will keep him happy, and then just slowly build him back up because he's had a week of nobody riding him, and he's 14, so obviously you want to take it slow. He's super fit, and he's been in full-time work since we've owned him basically. But you always want to start slow, especially with these older ones, and just make sure you don't go too fast. Make sure you're not like working on maneuvers. Like obviously you don't want to get on after he's had a week off and be like, yeah, and go go over under on him and run down and stop 30 feet. That's not what you want to do with any horse. Like you don't want to do that with a 3-year-old, a 14-year-old. It doesn't matter how old they are. You're not doing that with any horse. Today, just gonna jog around here. So yeah, that'll be the first little while. We'll just be, working on stretching and theraplating, and then I'll start working on my circles. And I have a problem like with him. He doesn't steer. He steers really great, but on the circle, once I start going a certain speed, he starts to lean on my outside rein. And so through the middle, like he will like start leaning toward the gate or stuff like that. So I work a lot on steering like that, and then work on my slowdowns and my spins and stuff. Just like kind of every day I work on a different maneuver in a way. So obviously like warm him up, jog him around, stuff like that. And then I will work on his circles or work on his turns or the stops or stuff like that. With this horse, he doesn't need work on the stop. He stops great. I work more on his rundowns. And so I work a lot on his rundowns. You guys have probably seen me working on those, doing like the rectangles and pushing him over, pushing his hip over and stuff like that. So I work on that a lot. And then when he's running good, I say whoa and whatever, make sure he does stop for me. Because you have to just keep them honest once in a while. But with these older ones, and especially with him, he stops really, really great. So there's no need to work on that. I'm excited to go to the fall championships. I've never been before. Hopefully we do good. Right now in the Arizona Reining Horse Association, in the standings, the year-end standings, I'm first in the 13 and under right now. So that's pretty awesome. My goal is to be like whatever youth of the year at the end in the AZRHA stuff. So that's really exciting. I want to know what you guys, as I just bend him around here, I want to know what you guys do. Like if any of you guys show whatever discipline. I'm curious what you guys do, whether it's pre-show or post-show. I want to know what you guys do as like kind of your show prep routine and your routine for afterwards, because I'm always looking for new stuff. I'm always looking for tips and tricks on how to keep my horses sound, how to keep them honest and happy, because a horse isn't going to go out there and do stuff for you if you make them sour and angry. If you ride them every day, you make them tired every day is difficult and hard. Obviously that horse is going to get sour. It's not going to want to do its job anymore, and then when they're 14 years old, they're not going to enjoy doing it anymore. He's had a good run. He enjoys this a lot. He loves what he does, and so he's 14 and still goes out and does it every day and does it amazing. I've had to learn as a rider. I got him when I was 12. I just turned 14. I had to learn as a rider to not go out there and just run up and down and work on stopping every day, because that's what I love to do. Obviously, I'm a kid. I love to run up and down and stop. I had to learn that with a horse like this, he knows how to stop. You don't have to go out there every day and work on stopping. Another thing I had to learn was he has to stay completely honest. So I don't have to work on maneuvers every day, but what I have to make sure is that when I ask him to do that maneuver, he does it to his full extent. He does it 100% every time. Something as little as stopping, and making sure He backs up with his full effort every time. And so even something as small as that can make your running down and stopping so much better. I had to learn that because I knew he was a great horse. I had so much fun, like the first while. I still have so much fun on him. But I had to learn to not go out there every day and just run up and down and lope circles. And because he circles amazing. I mean, he circles with his nose in the dirt every day, and that was not forced. That is something that he does naturally. Not every horse circles like that, and they don't have to circle like that. It's just the way that he lopes around. It's the way that he's comfortable. It's the most natural for him. If I hold his head up here and I make him go like this, obviously he's like, what are you doing? And he doesn't like that. So some horses, they're comfortable with their head up there. Some horses, they're more comfortable with their head down there. It really depends on the horse. Either way is good. But what you want to make sure is that their back is lifted and their body is soft and you can steer them around. Wherever their head and neck are does not matter. That is just horse preference. That's whatever they feel most comfortable doing. The way he carries his body makes it look very pleasing to watch and very pretty. So that's one thing that he does very good. So I enjoy doing that a lot. I enjoy loping circles on him. I enjoy doing fast circles, small circles, changing leads. He does all of that like almost perfect. But one thing, what I had to learn was that you can't do that every single day because he'll start to get smart or he'll start to get tired. And then either he doesn't want to do it anymore or it starts to go downhill and he gets smart and he learns that he doesn't have to do it as perfect. And then I stop paying attention and I'm kind of just loping on autopilot and I don't notice that he is doing something wrong. So yeah, I want to know what your guys' routine is after a show or before a show. That's a little bit of mine. Over the next little while, I'm going to be just working on his maneuvers, making sure everything is good, clean, crisp. I want to make sure that everything is the way I want it to be, because you want to, when I go to the middle and I ask him to turn, he better go, yes, ma'am, and just turn. If he doesn't just put his head down and turn, then I have a problem and I need to fix that. I don't want to get to the show pen and go, turn, and he goes, actually, no, I don't feel like it, and he goes the other direction, or he just stands there and does absolutely nothing. Any bit of resistance in the reining, your maneuver is going to be half a point lower. And so those horses have to just go exactly where you want them to go. Whether it's on the circle, you're steering through the middle, he better put his head down and he better go exactly where you want him to go. Or when you ask for that turn, he better just go, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, and he better just turn. Anything like that. When you say, whoa, he better stop. Like, all that little stuff is so, it's so minute, and I never, noticed it before. But when you get to the show pen, that's the difference between a 72 and a 68. That's, that range, when you don't know the reining very well, does not seem very big, but that is very, very hard. You can easily go from a 69 to a 71. Maybe you had a 71 run, but all that little stuff where that little resistance to that outside rein or that little bit where you kind of bobbled in the stop, that's going to put you at a 69 when you were at a 71. And it's just that little stuff that you don't notice until you're down here, you're in it every day, you go for lessons at other people's places, you learn how to make that stuff a little bit better. And that's what's really going to get you from a 69 to a 71 or anything like that. And that's really, really, really going to help your scores. That's going to help your horse. That's going to help you. It's going to get you way better at riding. It's going to help you with any horse you ride. Whatever discipline, they better do it to their full extent every time you ask them. If not, you have a problem, because if you're really a performer and your horse is a performance horse and you're out there, whether it's once a month or twice a month or it's once in a year, if you're out there and you're showing and you're a rider and you show a lot, then your horse better go out there and be amazing every day.